Live a little later today, guys. With the camera on. But right now it's still early, you know? This is just mukbang sounds. Probably gonna do some more of these braids, refresh them. It's 8 a.m. It's early. It's a great day. Man, people need to be more grateful for life. If you're alive, be grateful. If you're alive and well, be even more grateful. And if you're alive and well and a good person, be even more grateful. Because you could have been a scumbag. You could have got corrupted. You could have got destiny swapped. You could have got tricked into being a bad person. You could have got hoodwinked. You could have became a gang member. And I know all gang members aren't bad, but you had to do something bad to get in the gang, so, you know. And you're in a gang because, you know, I guess maybe for protection or whatever, but Forget that, man. Forget that. And it is sad too, because these kids join gangs because they don't have family protection, because your family be so damn divided and everybody in the family be out to get the other person. So people go and join gangs, and now you gotta be down with this gang. You gotta get down or lay down. You feel me? And then the police after you. So, even though you got these people that will, I guess, they're your homies, you're against you got the law on your ass now, or soon to be, and you got to live this life of undercover, never showing your face because of what you did. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to tell kids everything, man. When you have a kid, you got to tell them, hey, look, either you're going to do right or you're going to do wrong, and all this bad shit is going to happen to you. Either you're going to do right and still go through a bunch of bullshit, or you're going to do wrong and go through even more shit. But kids are smart, you know what I mean? And they can decode and they can fill out situations. So definitely, and that's why I say don't have too many kids. Because when you have a lot of kids, some are going to slip through the cracks. Some are going to not feel loved enough. Someone's going to get ganged up on. Someone's going to miss a meal. Someone's not, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes kids gotta have that feeling of somebody cares about me. Somebody's gonna have my back. Because if you don't give them that feeling of somebody's gonna have their back, they're gonna go out there and find that feeling. Maybe from a gang. I ain't trying to diss the gang members. Don't come after me. I'm just saying, I don't want my kids in it. Good morning. Yeah, we gotta care about the kids, man. Good morning. Because, and then, and I understand tough love. Parents want to give tough love. But you can't give tough love 24/7. You gotta give, you gotta talk to them. And you gotta let them answer. And you gotta find out what their motives are. You got to find out what drives them so that you can feed that drive and mold them into something great. And you got to continue to do that. You got to do that for 18 years. And the reason I say 18 is because it's actually 25, because the brain isn't completely developed until 25. Because you'll be sitting there molding your child for 18 years, and then boom, they meet somebody, and that person takes control of them, gets them pregnant, and destroys their life. So 25 is actually the real age you shouldn't let go of your kids. We come from an era of there is no talking, just beatings. I know. What do you think about that? What do you think about that era we come from? What do you think about the people that come from that? Because I think they're weed heads and trying to suppress that pain, all that pain they felt. I think they're highly reactive and run away from hard work and they run away from hard work, disciplinary situations. They can't take criticism. Highly explosive. Not the best communicators. I think it's the wrong approach to raise your kids to fear you. I agree. I agree. Because if they fear you, they're gonna. I think it's the wrong approach. Yeah, because if they fear you, they're gonna be scared to tell you when something goes wrong and hide it. You know what I mean? Like a pregnancy. I'm not gonna name no names, but I know someone who hid a pregnancy, and that's why their parents couldn't take them to get an abortion, because they hid the pregnancy for 9 months with big clothing. The kid came out okay though. Kid's okay. He's got a job, got a house, you know, got a family. I don't know. But the kid went through some shit. I was just watching a video. I put it in my playlist. It was a girl. She was being hidden in the house of her home, and her uncle told her, "Oh, you can't eat this weekend. You gotta wait till next weekend to eat." What the fuck? I ain't never heard no shit like that. I think going one day, making your kid go one day without eating, that's abuse. If they don't get one meal, that's abuse. There needs to be discipline, but as a parent, you gotta also uplift your kids also to talk to them, not just beat them. Yeah, discipline is good. I agree. You know, I don't agree with beatings. Beatings are bad, man. It makes the kid like fidgety and scared, and you know, they always just had a sad look on their face. I don't like beatings. I think that's wrong. I think there's other ways to discipline. You can take shit away. You can you can teach them how to meditate. Take all the fucking electronics out of their room and give them books. And then I know some parents can't do that because they can't be there 24/7 to monitor the child and make sure the child doesn't watch any TV, doesn't do anything, you know. But if that's what you got to do, you got to do it. Parenting is a job. It's a 24/7 job. It requires you to be on top of what your child is doing. You got spoiled brats out there that get everything they want, and they're explosive, and they can lose their life quickly. I was hit with hangers, hot frying pans, all types of shit. It still sticks with me to this day. I'm sorry to hear that. I know my mom didn't hit me. My mom hit me maybe like 5 times. You know, maybe like 5 times in explosive of anger. But it wasn't no regular thing. Like when I think of my mom, I don't think of beatings. I think of, you know, the fun we had. We went to the beach a lot. I remember her, you know, taking me to the grocery store a lot and buying me lots of fruits and vegetables and toys. You know, when I think about my mom, I think about that. I don't think about the beatings, but I know there's kids out there that get whooped over anything, and you know and sometimes that comes from having too many kids, man. Your mind be so damn, y'all gonna act right in here. But that's how my parents were raised, so they just carried it on. Yeah, our parents, yeah. Now my mama, I know she got her ass whooped. But I don't think it was a regular thing. I think it happened when she probably turned, like, you know, adolescence, when you start sneaking out and stuff like that. But kids won't. I don't hit my kids. Yes, me either. Me either. I talk to my kids. What was I saying? Oh yeah, sneaking out. When you sneak out, because I snuck out before. I think kids won't sneak out if you give them freedom where you are present, but they're still experiencing freedom. You know what I'm saying? I think prevent sneaking out like that, you know. Um, because when you sneak out, they know it's about a boy. You know what I mean? But why do you know it's about a boy unless you don't let your daughter have any contact with boys? You know what I mean? She doesn't know how to operate with boys. You got to teach that at some age, because if you just, well, I got to go to work, have a good day. Oh, you too, Bruce City. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You got to teach your girls how to, how to move in this world with men. You know what I mean? What's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what's abuse, what's not abuse, what's assault, sexual assault, what's not sexual assault, you know? Even in the workplace, you can get sexually assaulted, you know? And you don't want to teach your kids to, when you teach your kids to fear you, you're teaching them to hold all that in. You're teaching them to fear authority. So if they do get sexually assaulted at the job, they might not even report that out of fear that it might be their fault. So they hold that shit in. And now the predator just to strike again. I know it's a tough topic, like parents don't want to talk about sex to their kids, but eventually you have to. You gotta let them know about it. You know, it's a part of life. It's a part of life, man. Or you're gonna learn the wrong way, and then you're gonna be a grandparent before you didn't even get to experience the pregnancy because she hid it, and then you just pop up with a baby, and you're like, what the heck? Where did this baby come from? Now you got the authorities at your house because your baby having a baby. Because you didn't teach her about sex. The boy down the street taught her first. Real ish, man. Real ish.